India's official reaction on kill Pannun charge made by the United States. The Foreign Secretary says on Canada, they have consistently given space to anti-India violence. We expect them to follow their obligations. Batra speaking in a presser. Let's have a listen.
Relating to non-COP28 issues have already been answered.
Thank you. Unless there are any further questions, we will close. You had a follow-up to this? Something? Microphone?
So, the November 18 committee that was the committee that was formed on November 18, do you plan to make its findings public at any time?
I specifically said that's all we could say because of the security matter. We do not discuss such security matters publicly. I'm sorry. What do you have?
No, because you've referred to drug runners and gun runners and extremists, but yes. The indictment is about an Indian government official.
No, the indictment is not about Indian government official. I'm sorry, just check.
CC1, as is named, is supposed to be in the service of the
very clearly. Let me reiterate what we said. As regards the case...
So are you saying the inputs don't...
As regards the case... Are you talking about the legal case?
I'm talking about the legal case and the inputs that you say on the basis
the inputs I cannot share anything further. We made it very clear. As regards the legal case which you are basing, we have said that the individual filed in a US court. It is allegedly linking that person with a Indian official. That is a matter of concern. We have said, and as I said, that is not government policy. And there's a high-level inquiry. And we've also talked about the, as you mentioned, nexus between organized crime, drug trafficking, gun running, and extremists, and that's something that needs to be investigated. I think this high-level committee is precisely constituted for that, looking at all aspects, and let's wait for its results, and we'll take it forward. Thank you all for joining us for the special briefing. Please stay tuned for as Prime Minister's visit unfolds.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, you have the MEA spokesperson there speaking as some clarification coming in on the allegation made by the United States accusing an Indian intelligence official masterminding the assassination plot against Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannun. Now, based on that, word coming in from the Ministry of External Affairs. Let me cut across to Shiv Arur joining us on the phone line. Shiv, we hear the MEA coming out with a clarification. Do tell us what's being said with that regard.
The important update here, Nabila, the Indian External Affairs Ministry has indicated that a high-level probe is currently on into the allegations that have been leveled by the United States, as well as the the charges that have been framed by the U.S. Attorney in New York City, alleging that there was an Indian plot to assassinate Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannun. So that's point number one, where they say that a high-level probe is taking place. But this is in total contrast to how the Indian government has reacted to Canada's allegations, which so far have no charges framed or any information shared as far as we can see. In fact, Arindam Bagchi, the External Affairs Ministry, has just said that on Canada, India has consistently, as far as Canada is concerned, that country has consistently given space to anti-India violence, and that India expects Canada to follow its obligations under the Vienna Convention. He's also said we've seen interference by Canadian diplomats in India's internal affairs, and that's unacceptable. So this is a repeat of what India's stand has been so far, on the Canadian allegations are concerned, as well as Canada's interference in India's internal affairs is concerned. Remember, this comes on the back of 40 Canadian diplomats being removed from the country, on the basis of parity. But the big elephant in the room, Nabila, is the American case. The United States has said, has framed those charges in a New York City court. They've put out glaring details, naming, an individual named Nikhil Gupta as being involved in, a campaign to assassinate this Khalistani terrorist on U.S. soil, and that, this was handled by Indian government officials sitting somewhere in Gujarat, identified as CC1, in those legal papers. So what happens as far as Canada is concerned now takes a bit of a backseat, because now India is dealing with the United States. It's an entirely different kettle of fish. The United States is a very close strategic partner, unlike Canada. The U.S. and India are part of the Quad as well. They have a close relationship as far as counterterrorism is also concerned, and therefore this has dropped like a bombshell, literally. And
right,
therefore,
stay with
how
us,
India
Shiv,
navigates
for a
this
brief
is going to be
moment. I'm going to
important.
quickly cut across to Arindam Bagchi, who MEA spokesperson, who spoke about the U.S. Allegation, U.S. Department of Justice indicting claims that Nikhil Gupta, a senior intelligence official in India, masterminded this assassination plot against the Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, to which the MEA has responded. Here's a reaction.
Linking him to an Indian official, this is a matter of concern. We have said, and let me reiterate, that this is also contrary to government policy. The nexus between organized crime, trafficking, gun running, and extremists at an international level is a serious issue for law enforcement agencies. And
well, that's a reaction there. India hits back at the US kill Pannun claim, as Arindam Bagchi has spoken. If we could yet again play out what exactly Arindam Bagchi said, let's listen in.
Case against an individual that has been filed in a US court, allegedly linking him to an Indian official. This is a matter of concern. We have said, and let me reiterate, that this is also contrary to government policy. The nexus between organized crime, trafficking, gun running, and extremists at an international level is a serious issue for law enforcement agencies. And
all right. It's a clear message coming out that this will not be tolerated if an allegation of such nature is being investigated. Paulami Saha joins us live right from the newsroom. Paulami, India has already set up a high-level committee to look into these allegations made by the United States, accusing an intelligence officer here in India to allegedly mastermind a plot to kill Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, Khalistani terrorist. Give us more on what Arindam Bagchi has just said.
Well, the official spokesperson obviously did not dwell quite deeply into, of course, the high-powered committee, who forms a part of that high-powered committee, and what exactly are the aspects that that committee will be looking into. But this was part of a statement which was released by, of course, the official spokesperson yesterday itself, where they said that a high-powered committee based on inputs, security-related inputs that India had received from the United States had been formed on the 18th of November, and it will dwell upon those inputs and concerns that have been raised without specifically naming this particular alleged assassination plot. But today, of course, elaborating further on the formation of that high-powered committee, what the official spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said during that press conference alongside Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra was that this input concerning an individual's arrest who is linked to the assassination of a US citizen, but that individual's link with an Indian official is a matter of concern as far as India is concerned. That is not, and India stated that very categorically, that is not government policy.
Well, what we very interestingly observe here is that on the United States allegation here, India has set up a high-level committee to investigate the matter, while the allegations made by Canada, though, here you see Arindam Bagchi very clearly says that this is contrary to government policy. In fact, they say that this is interference of Canadian diplomats in India's internal affairs, because allegations were made, according to India, without basis and no proof in place.